What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of Crestoria video. We don't have any new news today, but there's something I've discussed this before in a previous video, but this was probably like a year ago, and I want to kind of go over it again because there's not really new information that's come to light, but things I'm seeing that's making me think certain things. Um, so obviously, based on the title of the video, you're going to guess what this is about. And yes, we're going to be talking about if Tales of Crestoria is going to be a shared server or if there's going to be global and JP servers. And, like a year ago, I thought to myself, why would they bother making a global version if they were just going to repeat the mistakes that they made with Tales of the Race? And they've already proven that they're trying to do better. We actually have a Twitter account, which is what Rays should have had from the beginning. And we actually have decent PR for this game as well. PR meaning promotion. YouTube videos, Twitter posts, the official Bandai channel actually tweeting about Tales of Crestoria, all that kind of stuff. So that's the first thing they're doing better this time is actually having a PR department. But there's some other things I want to talk about here that have become apparent. So if you look at some, and we talked about this when we went over everything. So the first thing I want to talk about is here in the Q&A. You can notice things like this where it does kind of seem like they're just running a lot of this. It seems like the Japanese side is mainly handling the translations, which is interesting because you would think there would be a global team kind of checking everything, but it seems like it's just entirely the JP side. As you can see here, they were talking about Symphonia. They used Rain's Japanese name, and they spelt Sheena kind of like how it would be if it was a literal translation. All the other names here are pretty normal, so that's fine there. But there's several instances of this. You can see here if you open the App Store itself, you see another thing where immersive is spelt wrong. And then you get something here where it shows the email for this game is a JP account. It's not a global thing, and then obviously they have the Japanese address. But the Japanese address doesn't really mean much because games like Dokkan, the global version, also have the Japanese address titled here. But it's very interesting that we have the JP email here for the contact. So they must have someone who speaks it, whether it's someone over here or someone in Japan who speaks English and Japanese, kind of working, or a team of people who can, translate with each other, whatever they're doing. It doesn't really see, and plus you get stuff like this right here. Where is it? There was a tweet that they had to fix. This one. They wrote, repost, let us repost due to inappropriate image. That's usually something you get when you take one of these Japanese tweets and you click the like Google Translate or whatever. It wasn't inappropriate image. It was the fact that they posted the wrong video. So something like that right there is definitely telling me like, okay, this is probably being handled by the Japanese side, and they're running it through a machine translation for most of this stuff. And then, for the most part, they're having maybe someone on an English side, spell check it real quick. But obviously, not everything is getting through perfectly. And we've seen it over the course of this thing where there's a lot of things being misspelled or what have you. So that leads me to believe, and nothing's confirmed or anything. I don't know anything beyond what everyone else knows, but that leads me to believe that it's just both English and Japanese versions are just being handled by the Japanese side, which leads me to believe, why would they make two servers if one team is essentially handling the entire game? Why would they not just put everyone on the same server? Or, they could do something where it's like, maybe there's one big server for all the accounts, but then it's still split up between English and JP because, if you throw someone into a game with these stickers you're going to be able to do for like co-op and stuff, if someone uses an English sticker, the Japanese person isn't going to be able to read what they're saying. I guess they could know by like the picture of the sticker or what have you, but it's, it's going to be very hard to kind of converse with those people because their stickers are going to be different. So that's the interesting thing with that. So I do think we're probably, even if it's not two separate servers, I do think for the most part, you'll probably only be able to play with people on your language. So, like, if you speak English and you're playing the game in English, you will probably only, if you go to, like, random sessions or set up a lobby, the people who join you will probably only be people who speak that language. But that'll be the interesting thing, too, because if it is just one game, because on the other side of that, they could do something about this. If it is just one game, let's say you boot up Tales of Crestoria, and before it asks you your player name and go through the tutorial, it asks you for your language, they could just make it so that if you choose Japanese, it doesn't matter what the other person is who's going to appear in your lobby, those stickers will just appear in Japanese. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of look at this, and right now, it sucks because there's a lot of people who are already just being like, I'm just going to play the Japanese. If there's two versions, I'm playing the Japanese version, which sucks because then that even, like let's say there is an English and let's just say the English side is just, missing all these typos or whatever. If they're repeating the same mistake they did with Tales of the Rays, they're already 1 foot in the grave because people don't trust them to stick with the global version. Obviously with Tales of Link, once it started, it went through until the Japanese version closed down, but I think that was mainly because it was a character gacha, which this will be too, so that's another thing I'm not so worried about, is it's a character gacha, so you get more people inclined to spend their money, as opposed to an equipment gacha, which they're far more free to play, you just save for whoever you want. But in a game like this, it's going to be so frequent that, you're just not going to get the character you want, so you're going to want to spend money to try and get that character. But there's still kind of this, like, worry factor that a lot of people are having. By the way, you can even say it. It says Crestoria English Tales Channel JP. So it's just a different part of the, like, JP website. There's just, like, I don't know if you can go from one to the other just from here. We'll open it up and we'll see. But that's the big thing, is there's a lot of people who are already just, like, super afraid to even give the English version a chance because they don't want to lose their account. So that's why a lot of people, including myself, just hope that when the day comes, because this is how I'm going to test it. When the game comes out, whenever it's like fully out, beginning of June, I'm literally, because if you go to QApp, they have the pre-registration for the Japanese version of the game. So what I'm literally going to do is, once I download the global version, I'm going to go there and it's either going to say download or it's going to say open. If it says open, that means they're the exact same game. If it says download, that means they're two separate servers. So that's literally going to be the first thing I do. And if I see they're separate servers, I hate to say it, but I'm going to be one of those people that plays two accounts. Because I don't know. It's really hard to kind of trust everything. And plus, there's the whole thing. So they have this pre-registration campaign going on for the global side specifically, which they already did on the Japanese version a year ago. But essentially, you get these tickets for the amount of pre-registrations, but this is global only. Just for this third tier, we don't even know what 4 and 5 will be. Obviously, it'll probably be another 2 tickets and another 3 tickets, so it adds up to 10. So it adds up to a full multi. It's going to be hard for us to even hit 50,000, I feel like, because if you look at Tales of the Rays barely had over like 100,000 downloads when the game shut down. And even with this PR, like, you look at this, I'm not going to open Facebook, but Facebook has like a little over 5,000 followers, and then we're up to like 8,500. So, cap it off, we're at like 14,000. So that's only 14,000. We're like at half of the first thing here. And, you could get a lot of people who are just going on, that maybe don't have a Twitter. They just go through YouTube. They go to the App Store. They find it through advertisements to other things. But I would say even through that, I don't see how we're going to hit 100,000 for global exclusive. So unless they have like a crazy amount of PR plan, I really just want to see them update about this. Because if we get a tweet, tomorrow or something that says we already hit 30,000, or actually, that would make me more concerned if the first tweet that they make like a week from now is like, oh, we hit 30,000. I'm just gonna be like, there's no way. Even if these ones are like 125, 150, maybe that's why they haven't put the number there, because they want to see what their reach is gonna be for this. I would expect, maybe this would be 200,000, 300,000. We've got like a month and maybe a few days before the game comes out. We don't know when in June it's supposed to drop, but June 30th at the very latest. But let's say, for example, it does come out, a month from today. I don't know that we can get, 200, 300,000 pre-registrations. It's not like with SAO where it's very, very popular. Like, I was just trying, like, last night I was just thinking, I was comparing, and obviously it'll be different when the game actually comes out, because I'm sure when people boot up the game, they'll be like, oh crap, this game has a Twitter, let's go follow the Twitter. But I looked up a bunch of different games, and almost every game that's been out, even for a short time, is like close to like at least 20,000 followers on Twitter. So the thing that makes me a little happier, though, is that we do have this verified check mark already for Tales of Crestoria, which usually you have to go through hurdles to just get that check mark, which means whoever is managing everything is obviously putting great care into this game. And they've even mentioned, when they were talking about Tales of Arise like a year ago, they were talking about how they want to have Tales branch out more worldwide. They want, its popularity to grow and grow and grow, which is a great thing. But you need to make sure that you're going to keep this game up and afloat. If this game shuts down, then it'll directly contradict what they were trying to say a year ago, where they wanted to go worldwide. Even if at first, maybe it's not making the greatest amount of money, don't close it 6 months down the line, because then you're going against what you wanted. It's like you're taking away the one game right now that's, we have Tales of Arise coming out, but after Tales of Arise is going to be a game people play 40 to 60 hours, and then most people will just be like, all right, time to wait for the next one. But this is a game that over years and years, more and more fans can get into the series, because gacha games are a consistent source of content. It's not like a 40-hour story and then you stop playing. Gacha games, you get new events every week, you get new characters every week, and you keep playing the games. So that's just my whole thing about this. I don't know what the plan is here, and, part of me is worried, part of me wants to not be worried, but it's just hard to really say right now whether or not they're going to be a shared server. I still want to think that overall it's going to be a shared server. That's my piece on this. I could be wrong, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what kind of comes out of it. But definitely let me know what you guys think down below. I know a lot of people are wary to even make a global account. Or if they do make a global account, they're going to make a JP one as well. But that's the one more issue I want to talk about. People aren't going to want to spend money because they're going to be afraid it's going to shut down. So the way to kind of mitigate that is to put everything on one server. Once people see it's one server, they're going to be like, oh, okay, this game will only shut down if the JP version does, and the JP version is not going to shut down for many years to come. You look at Asteria, a game that probably doesn't make a ton of money anymore. It's, just had its 6-year anniversary. It's still going. So Crestoria will at least make it 5-6 years with the amount of work they're putting into it. But I don't know. Bandai's going to have to do something to make global fans think it's, worth it to put their money into, and, make them think that their accounts aren't going to get lost. If anyone from Bandai is watching this, definitely make sure you do that, because a lot of the fans that are going to play this game are too afraid to even download an English account, because they're afraid that, 6 to 8 months, just like with Tales of the Rays, their accounts might be the version will be shut down and they'll have to restart on the Japanese version. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. Once we start getting news on these character movies, I will definitely make a video on them. I'll probably wait till all the character movies come out to make a video, but because I don't want to make a video because they'll probably do like one a day once they start doing it. It'll just be like a little 30-second thing, so we'll just go through them all when they're all out. And, it's still early May. I would say within the next 10 days, this beta has to start that they're talking about. We still don't know what the beta is going to entail, but hopefully it's I still pray this could be like a pre-release thing because I really just want to get my hands on the game, but we'll see. So I'll see you all next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and have a wonderful day, everyone.